氣温啊。咁但係今日亦都係你哋人生嘅一個高潮係咪？畢業一個好開心嘅日子咁所以正正呢一樣嘢咧，睇到人生都係充滿咗呢個矛盾驚喜。問題我當為中文大學留俾你哋最後嘅一個 assignment 係一個嘅功課，讓你哋喺你哋人生之中慢慢去參透呢個嘅。I will now switch back to English. Speaking for the Chinese University of Hong Kong and myself, I would like to welcome you all to today's ceremony. As a long-time 2010 Master's Degree Graduation ceremony. This year, there are more than 4,000 Master's Degree graduates at CUHK.
Some years ago, I was asked to teach a graduate seminar mainly for MA students. I think most of you are MA students. I was somewhat suspicious in the beginning because I thought MA students come from all walks of life. Some of them may not have received adequate training. And yet, I was totally surprised by the dedication, the passion for learning, and above all, by the challenging questions the MA students asked me. So in some ways, you represent a small but very distinguished minority, not only in this university, but also in Hong Kong in general. Would you have rewards? I would say yes and no. It all depends on how you define such rewards. In terms of money and economic values, perhaps. Some of you may have received certification so that with one more degree, you will receive a higher salary, perhaps promotion. But I think the real game, the real aim of a humanistic postgraduate education, especially on the MA level, is actually your own interest. That is to say that you are reaping your own rewards, or the rewards of your own efforts. Why so? If you look around, in today's Hong Kong, we are surrounded by the commotions, by the activities, the incessant activities of economic life. Everybody has only one goal in mind, it seems. In Cantonese, it's 玩钱, a kind of monetary goal that dominates every sphere of life. Efficiency, bureaucracy, stock market, etc., etc., seem to be rampant in our society. And yet, why do we choose to pursue such areas as divinity, arts, literature, philosophy, and other humanistic disciplines? For the simple reason that we like them. We like to study them. And perhaps for some of you who are already adults, who are already very successful in your own walks of life, you may feel, as I did about 10 years ago, a certain emptiness. I feel that I need nourishment. I feel that if I do not go back to studies, I will lose something. Something that no amount of money can buy. And that's what drove me back to become, as it were, a student again. Although I did not enroll in formal MA classes, but I did my own personal studies. What did I study? Classical music, film, as well as all the other things that I was not able to be trained in the United States when I was a graduate student. So I think some of you may share this avocational interest with me, because in the course of our lives, we are always torn between conflicting priorities. One thing remains consistent. That is your abiding, lifelong interest. Something that is a little bit apart from the reality of your life. Something perhaps spiritual. Something that speaks to your soul. Something that you like to cherish. Sometimes even in private or among a few friends. In short, we are a distinct minority among Hong Kong's population. But I would like to add that we are also a most distinguished minority. It is your efforts that make Hong Kong not to become a cultural desert. Hong Kong's culture is enriched every day through people like you who care about culture, about humanities, about music, about arts, about creativity, who like to enrich your lives. This is to me very, very important, especially in this day and age. Some of you may think that I'm talking in platitudes. You have heard this before. Sometimes when I've done my own writings, I just gave 6 lectures at our other university, University of Hong Kong, on the topic called Humanities Now. I was facing with the same problem. Am I talking in platitudes? Am I repeating things that you already know? But if I've done so, I would like to apologize by saying that it is worth repeating. But I was rewarded in a way by a book that I read at least 3 times, the first part of that book. This is a book that is easily available in Hong Kong's bookstores. It is an English translation of a popular book by an Italian novelist by the name of Italo Calvino. The book is called Why Read the Classics? I can substitute for the classic the term humanities. Reading is our daily job. So let's change the title into Why Study the Humanities, especially on the MA level. Calvino lists 14 maxims. Each one is worth repeating, but I'll simply repeat the last 2. He said that there's something special about the humanities. You are trained not only for the skills for which you are accredited, you get your credit, but also for a certain kind of knowledge which makes you make the right choices, both professionally and ethically, both for your society, for your profession, and for yourself. So he says that one of the reasons why we continue to renew our acquaintances with classics, humanities, books we like, it is because from them, we are refreshed, like meeting old acquaintances. Read a classic, he said, especially when you are old, when you reach maturity. I find myself doing exactly the same thing. Only last month, I reread 1,000 pages of Tolstoy's novel, War and Peace, not knowing that this year celebrates or commemorates the 100th anniversary of this great Russian novelist, of the death of Tolstoy. But the last 2 maxims by Calvino has the following to say. The 2 are related, are something of a paradox. He is trying to address the relevance of humanities or classics to contemporary life. He says that, what is a classic? What is a humanities book? It is a work which relegates the noise of the present to a background hum, which at the same time humanities cannot exist without. In other words, we pursue humanities at the same time as we live in the background noises of today's Hong Kong. But at the same time, reading the humanities is also a job which somehow persists as background noise, even when the present that is totally incompatible with it holds sway. That's to say that if you are in hot pursuit of money, getting very busy, working 12-hour days, but still, there's the hum in the back of your mind. And that hum, that noise, is humanities. It's what you have learned probably in the last 2 or 3 years. In the next 20 years, some of you may have forgotten what you have read, what you have learned. But let me assure you that at my grand old age, they will all come back. And that is the treasure of humanity. So I thank you, and I want to congratulate you for your amazing achievement.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Master's Degree Graduation Ceremony. You are requested to the Cultural Square for drinks. Please make use of the special coaches to get to the university and the art station. The graduate certificates are now available for your collection at rooms C1 and C2, Lady Shaw Building. 各位畢業生及家長，多謝你哋參與碩士學位課程畢業典禮。文化廣場